was the difference in the last 25 minutes?
Probably them. I thought they had just a fire to them that they didn't have the first, whatever it was, if it was 35 minutes, I'm not sure it was quite that much. They were resilient tonight for sure. They bunch of penalties there in the second period. Guys were hurt. I saw guys seem like a kind of a never-ending thing back to the locker room, and obviously we stopped playing, and that's I think it's as much of a tribute to them. But you know, the way four shots in the third with a 2-goal lead is obviously not very good.
Coach, how do you bounce back? I mean, back-to-back nights of leads, and especially giving up 4 unanswered goals a night. What do you say to the kids? How do you get them back on track?
You know, if there was an absolute perfect message, it'd be a lot easier. But you kind of have to almost decompress after something like this, and go away from each other, and then come back on Monday and reflect and talk about it. Obviously, something like that's as much mental as it is physical. They're young guys. We're not ready to be the great team that we've been talking about based on our record. That's just a fact. I do think that we competed really hard, at least in the first 35 minutes of the game. We'll talk about it as a staff, and we'll come back to work on Monday. Really, nothing has changed. We still feel like we're 2 points away from a home ice third place finish for sure. And that's if other teams go perfect. We need to play better. But what I did like the relentlessness last night. Obviously, we started that way tonight. Weren't able to finish it. I didn't like how we just folded tent and played the last 25 minutes. And unfortunately, you look to your older people. The 3 penalties we took in the third period. Part of our leadership group, all 3 of them, and we had told them usually when the penalties are as one-sided as they were through 2 periods, it kind of evens itself out, and it did. And we weren't able to pick ourselves up mentally and push forward. And that's something that I think that has to be a growth situation within our program. Is our leadership needs to be able to handle those situations and move forward. The coaches aren't out there skating. We can call timeouts, or we can use TV timeouts and try to right the ship. But if they're not right in the head, and again, we just had a few guys not where they need to be. So now you're throwing the same guys out there all the time. It's just it's not our recipe for success.
You mentioned about trying to be right in the head and about focus. That last goal was hard to tell. Did it go off one of your skates?
Yeah. Salvo made a play on it, put it under net. But we were getting pushed around below the goal line, and I think by that point the momentum had totally shifted. And you look out there, it was a junior and 2 seniors, and it's older guys that are just not quite getting the job done over the past couple nights.
That's good, or? Chris, did you like what you saw from the power play tonight with the 2 goals?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
2 for 5. There's still holes there, Kevin, but I think we're fighting the confidence thing a little bit of the power play. Nothing but an excuse. That's what they'll say. Oh, coach, I'm not confident on the power play. Well, you've got to find a way, because ultimately that confidence is you got to play better on the power play. That's how you get confidence, is to play better. But to go 2 for 5, it's got to help a little bit.
Even though there were some defensive breakdowns over the last half of the game that led to their goals, do you feel like you didn't cash in on enough chances?
Over the course of 2 days, probably, Kevin. I don't have a bunch of those chances in my mind right now. I mean, I look at the grade A opportunities over 2 periods. In the third period, there might be 2, according to the shot chart. First 2 periods, there was a bunch. And obviously, there was some power play implications there. I think last night we didn't cash in on more than tonight. I thought last night we left some on the table. Tonight, you make your bounces, and we didn't get many the last 25 minutes for sure, based on on what we were putting out.
Do you think though maybe you should have been ahead by 4 or 5 goals?
Not necessarily, not necessarily. But again, I'll have to go back to the tape and see that.
What do you say to your goaltender to make sure, you know?
Yeah, the goaltending thing is obviously wide open. We're looking for one of the three to be the number one. None of them are that. Tommy leaves the door open for somebody else last night, and then obviously, Chris wasn't able to take advantage of his opportunity tonight. So we got out goaltended all weekend long. I mean, that's just real. So we say we need better goaltending.
You all good?
Thanks very much.
Thank you.